Okay, folks, I want to assess this situation here with Joel Osteen. There's I mean, it's been blown up today. There's been a lot of people that have been upset with Joel Osteen today. It's probably going to make it into the mainstream news, I'm sure. But a lot of folks are, basically casting shade on him. They're basically trying to show that he is really, kind of hiding out while his people are in trouble. But I don't want to just focus on that, and I'm not going to be biased. I want to be honest and share, an overview here of how dire the situation really is in Houston, and even in the area where Joel Osteen's house is, where his $15 million house is. It's very dire, very serious situation. And I'm going to show you where Joel Osteen's house is. I'm going to show you where the Bayou that's over his house, that's about to overflow. Lakewood's already underwater from my understanding. You all know where I stand as far as Joel Osteen. You know I don't agree with him. But I do want to make this video for his followers, people that go to Lakewood, so they can kind of see an overall view of who Joel Osteen really is. I'm going to show you his house, going to show you his cars, or at least one of his cars, his Ferrari. Going to show you the private jet, all these things, so you can kind of get an overall perspective of who this guy really is. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and start. First of all, let's go ahead and start. I want to start with his Twitter account here. I just want to show you. People are really upset with him, and I'm going to show you here on his Twitter account. Joel Osteen's Houston megachurch can't open because of floodwaters. Okay, this is going to be his legacy. This is going to be, for a long time. This is going to be out there that he closed Lakewood at a time when people needed him the most. He closed the doors. And there's been a lot of tweets have been going out today. There's a lot of jokes here about it. You even got the Bart Simpson jokes, and where he got him, kind of going into the bush trying to hide. And so it's, here he goes. He's hiding. See, and this is the way they see Joel Osteen. This is the way the world views him. Okay, and so, this just kind of gives you an idea what the world thinks. I want to show you some of the things that Joel Osteen has been tweeting out as well on his Twitter account. In the midst of all this devastation and this dire situation, Joel Osteen is basically tweeting out not even full scriptures, but kind of like these real watered down half scriptures from his account. So let's first of all, let's go ahead and look at his account here. I want to show you. So here, he tweeted this about 4 hours ago. Our hearts break as we see the damage and destruction in our city. Please join us in helping Houston recover. Now, more than likely, Joel Osteen is in Florida at the beach or somewhere, but he's probably nowhere near this flooding. He's probably nowhere near Houston, Texas right now. I don't know that for sure. That's just a guess. Other people are saying the same thing. They think he's probably out of town. But look at some of the things he's tweeted out. 15 hours ago, he said, Jesus promises us peace that passes understanding. That's peace when it doesn't make sense. Okay, this is their pastor, okay? This is all he has to offer to his people. God is still on the throne. This was yesterday, I believe. God is still on his throne. He brought you through in the past. He'll bring you through again. Okay? This is what he's offering his people. Close the doors to the church. Close the doors to his multi-million-dollar church. And he's nowhere to be found. And he's just, offering these little tidbits. No real heartfelt anything. Just little tidbits, not even full scriptures. To the one where he says God is still on his throne, I actually left a message there to Joel Osteen. I said, yes, he is still on his throne, Mr. Osteen, but where are you? God is on his throne. So you can look at it yourself. Go to his Twitter account there, and you can see what he's saying. If you go to Victoria's also, she's saying the same thing, same little tidbits, no real meat, no real, word of God that to sustain people. Just a little thing just to let you know he's there somewhere with a Twitter account, probably on the beach, catching the rays. But I want to share with you some things here, folks. Okay? Just hang tight here. I want to share some things with you. Let's go ahead and close out the Twitter. I want to share some things with you. All right, let's go ahead and start. This is the street or the road that Joel Osteen lives on. He lives off of Del Monte Road. This is the upscale area of Houston. Very upscale area, River Oaks. River Oaks is the most prestigious, the most upscale area in Houston, okay? Bar none. And so let me go ahead and show you the situation there, how dire the situation is, okay? So let's go ahead and, one moment. Let me go ahead and, okay, this is, first of all, this is Joel Osteen's mansion, okay? I'm going to show you on the map how close the Bayou is to this mansion of his, okay? It's just behind his mansion. Now, my question is, would God allow, would God allow Joel Osteen's mansion to be flooded because of his, lack of compassion on his own people? I'm thinking to myself, how many of his own people right now are stranded out there in the flood somewhere in the last few days, And what has he done to help that effort? What has he been doing with his millions of dollars? What is he doing to help his people? Well, let's go ahead and look at some slides here, okay? Again, this is his mansion from the outside street. I believe this is off, was it Bellevue, or what did I say the name? Let me go back here. Okay, so this is Del Monte. This is off of Del Monte. So this is his mansion. This is his mansion here. And, hold on one second. Make a connection here with you, just kind of show you. But this is his mansion. And $15 million mansion. Okay? And it could be already underwater for all I know. I don't know how bad the situation is as far as at his house. I know what's going on from the news with the Bayou that's behind his home. So let's go ahead and look at that real quick. Not sure why it's not. Okay. For some reason it's yeah. Isn't that the way it usually works? Trying to get these pictures to not sure what's going on here, but for some reason I can't get. There we go. Okay, now take a look. Okay, take a look at this. The bayou is this kind of muddy looking water up here. Okay, that little area up there that looks small on this picture. Okay, I'm sorry, there you go. For some reason, I don't know why the slideshow is not working, but bear with me. We'll get this. Okay, so you see the let me see if I can make this a little bit smaller, kind of. Let me see if I can. I kind of want to get this smaller so I can show you. Looks like I'm going to have to go really small. Hold on. This is a bigger image or something, and it's not matching the rest of the slideshow. So, okay. So just, if you can, it's hard to show you, but down below this house that's in the middle there, you'll see a little house down at the bottom. This makes it kind of difficult. For some reason, OBS is not cooperating with me. Sorry about this, folks, but I'm trying to. You see that little place? I don't know if you can see my cursor or not on here. Let me see if. Yeah, it doesn't give me the opportunity to. But anyway, you see this place right here. All right, this is his house. It's too bad it won't work, but I can't get it to. Obviously, can't get it to work. But that's his house right there. Okay? Now, I'm going to shrink the picture up, all right? And when I shrink the picture up, you'll be able to see the bayou up above his house. You can tell how close this is. And this is pretty close. And I'm wondering, is God going to allow Joe Osteen's house to be flooded and be destroyed even? Or maybe just flooded as a warning to him? Okay? That's the bayou at the top there, and then you see his house way down here. So this whole area that you're looking at right now underneath the bayou, that is actually all potentially going to be flooded. These are all upscale, very, very expensive homes, $1 million homes in this area underneath the bayou. Now, let me show you what's going on with the bayou right now. Watch this. One moment. OBS is a little bit, in my opinion, it's a little bit. Okay, so here you got the bayou before and after picture. All right? And you're going to get a good idea here. This is what it used to look like. See the difference now? Well, wow, that's not really allowing me to really. Wow. Hold on one moment. Maybe that's better. Okay, so now you're kind of seeing what's going on with the bayou right now. See the difference? I'm not laughing. I'm just saying, look at the difference here. And this is up above where Joel Osteen lives. All right? So now, let me see if I can continue. With the slideshow here, if it'll allow me to. Yeah, it was working fine before. I don't know what. Yeah, you gotta really be. So the slideshow is not allowing me to go through the pictures for some reason. There we go. Okay. So you see the bayou up there, up above the red marker there, right? That red marker is Joel Osteen's house. The bayou's up above that red marker. Are you all seeing this? That's how dire the situation really is. That's how serious it is in Houston, okay? These are the most upscale homes in Houston, Texas. All right, in the city of Houston. And of course, that's where Joel Osteen lives. Now, if it'll allow me to continue to... This is Joel Osteen in his jet, in his private jet. Probably, this is kind of what it looked like when he was on his way to Florida, if that's where he headed to when the flood set in. But that's his private jet. This is him on his private jet. I wonder if I've got his picture in there of the... So that's his home. Okay, I guess I forgot to put in... One moment, I want to show you one more picture here, if I can get it. Two more pictures, actually. Yeah. So, let's go through these slides here. That's his car. That's probably his son's car beside that car, but this is his Ferrari. Yeah, that's his Ferrari, people. This is supposed to be a preacher or a minister of the gospel, a pastor of a church. This is his car. Right? A Ferrari. A Ferrari, people. Are you getting this? Sad. Really sad. But this is what it is to be a mega church minister. This is what you can have if you're a mega church minister. But again, look at Joel Osteen's house. His $15 million home is underneath that bayou right there, Buffalo Bayou. Okay? And it's in dire, dire, dire situation right now. It's so dire, they say that if they take out too much water, it's going to be a problem. If they don't take out enough water, it's going to be a problem. So now it's a juggling act. So Sorry that didn't go off without a hitch, but for some reason. I want to look at some more of what's going on with his Twitter account as well. So let's go ahead and do that. I want you to see what the people think about Joel Osteen. I'm sure a lot of these people are his own people. They're not just what the world thinks as far as the outside world of Lakewood, but actually some of these must be his own church members as well. So let's just read a few of these. How are you guys helping the storm victims in Texas right now? He could open his gigantic estate to the flood victims, but he won't. This is supposedly his house in Texas. He could house hundreds and still not have to look anyone in the face and hide out. He could still hide out, in other words. So, open your mega church and help save lives and give shelter to those who have lost their homes. Or are you just another snake oil salesman? What does this have to do with oil? I'm in the sales. Whatever, I'm not going to read that one because I can't even understand it. Can you let those fighting for their life in Houston know when your house of worship will open to them for a place of shelter? But you can all look at these for yourself. I don't want to, go on here too long, but drag this out. But you can go look it for yourself and see what people are saying about Joel Osteen, what they think. But since the flood began, since the flood started, since this event began, since the storm started, Joel Osteen has said, Jesus promises peace that passes understanding. That's peace when it does not make sense. God is still on the throne. He brought you through in the past. He'll bring you through again. And then he had the audacity to say this. There's a simple phrase you have to get down in your spirit. God's got this. You believe the pastor of a church, a mega church, instead of giving the word of God to his people to hold his people in hard times, God's got this. You got to get that down in your spirit, Joel Osteen says. So you can all go check out, his Twitter account yourself. But it's just so pitiful. So pitiful. I wonder if he's worried about his home there in Houston. I haven't looked to see, how bad the situation there is right now in Houston. In the last few hours, I haven't looked because I've been putting this together. But my understanding is it's very dire situation there. But I kind of wanted to just put this out there to give folks some perspective. This is the type of minister that God says his wrath is revealed from heaven against. Those that hold the truth in unrighteousness. And the word in the scripture that has to do with holding the truth in unrighteousness, it means to hold back the truth. To hold back the truth in unrighteousness. So, Mr. Osteen, I don't know if you're going to see this video or not, but shame on you. Shame on you. He's worth, I believe, $500 million. And when the flood is over, when the storm is over, he's supposed to have a big concert at Lakewood. He's supposed to invite all these country western stars. That's his way of saying or showing compassion. But where is he right now, people? Where is he? Why is it that the doors of Lakewood are closed? Why are the doors to his own home closed? Why isn't he doing something to provide shelter for his own people? For at least the people that go to Lakewood. I'm going to tell you, people, what Joel Osteen is doing right now is just the opposite. It's just the opposite of what the Bible says he should be doing. Do you realize that? What Joel Osteen is doing right now is just the opposite of what a minister should be doing. If this doesn't open people's eyes to see who this deceiver really is. He's not a shepherd. He's not a shepherd. He doesn't have compassion. He's just like he said, it's all about selling a product. You know? He says, I'm all about the lights and the video cameras and, you know, making sure the angle's right so the product can be sold. Okay? And when he was accused of being a motivational speaker, his words on that was, well, if that's what I'm accused of, that's not a bad thing. Well, he should break away from the idea of a minister, people. Excuse me 1 minute, I gotta close that out. He really should. He should close out or break away from. One moment. Let me get him. I think it's the Twitter account I need to close. Yeah, there we go. He should really close out his Twitter account. His Twitter account. He should really close or break away. I'm getting mixed up. He should actually break away from the ministry part of this. If he's going to be a motivational speaker, if he's going to, make money off books and stuff like that, then he has no business being a minister. Because what he's doing right now, his heart's not in it, first of all. It's not about the people that he speaks to. He said he had, I think it's a 35-minute message is what he gives on the weekends. He even said himself, he says, I live for the weekend. In other words, what he's saying is when he prepares for the weekend, that's all he considers church. You know, that's what that's the consistent, that's what his spiritual life consists of. Weekends. But during the week, that's his time. That's his family's time. That's his time to go and travel and go on vacations but he lets the administration there at the church handle all the other things, all the the things that take place behind the scenes. He doesn't take care of any of the administration, none of that stuff. I guarantee you, if you would go to Lakewood Church during the week and you wanted to meet with Joel Osteen as the pastor of the church, yeah, right. You won't find Joel Osteen. You won't find him as a pastor that you can go to and get counseling or whatever. What a joke. It's such a joke, these mega churches. Probably most of the people at Lakewood have never even met Joel Osteen face to face. Right? Is that true? So it's pitiful, people. I'm going to tell you, it's pitiful. It is pitiful. So, I just kind of wanted to put that out there for you. There's his mansion again. That's just one of his houses, by the way. He's got one in Florida, I believe. There's his mansion. There's his house there underneath the Buffalo Bayou. And it's interesting, too, I was telling my wife about this, how that they are really focusing. They're really focusing people. They're really focusing on the Bayou right now. That's their big focus of FEMA and the National Guard is to work on the Bayou, and they claim it's all about, because if they don't work on it, then it's going to flood all of Houston. That's how dire, or that's how serious they made it sound. If we don't handle the Buffalo Bayou and what's, the flooding that's taken place above River Oaks, then all of Houston will be destroyed. But what they don't want to tell you is where that red dot is right there, that's what they're concerned with. These are all the millionaires. These are the wealthy in Houston, okay? This is the area of Houston that is like a Beverly Hills, right, to California, okay? That's what they're really concerned with. I guarantee you the people that are in that area where that red dot is right there are not being treated as the people that are not in that area. I guarantee you that right now. I was tempted, and I was going to say something to you that I found out today. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to inflame. I don't want to add fuel to the fire. But when it comes out in the news, I will guarantee you there's going to be some very angry people. But I won't say anything. I'm not going to give in to the tempter. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to try to incite riot and inflame people. But when it comes out in the news, it's surely going to make some people angry. But sad. Really sad. So I hope it's worth it all to you, Mr. Osteen. I really do. I hope it's worth it because there's your heaven. There's your heaven right there, Mr. Osteen. Enjoy your heaven on earth. While the people that make it possible for you to have that lifestyle are drowning, are without their homes, homeless. That's right, homeless. How many of those homeless people from Lakewood do you think he's going to help find a place to live? How many in that, I think, 15-room mansion, maybe even more rooms? I'm talking about just bedrooms. That's not counting every other room. I wonder how many people he's going to take in from his church. This is where you find out, who the real ministers are, people. This is how you really find out who the real ministers are. Okay? I saw in the news that this one minister was actually out in the floodwaters checking cars. Okay? That's a real minister. That's a real preacher of the gospel. Not these guys that live in their multi-million dollar lifestyles, look down on other people while they're, trying to survive. Literally trying to survive. But I tell you, people, this is pitiful. This is so pitiful. Now, God gives us so many scriptures in the Bible about ministers like Joel Osteen. There are so many scriptures in the Bible. Talks about covetous. They're covetous. They're false prophets. Teachers with itching ears to tickle the ears of the people. That, they're all about making themselves fat, and they're not feeding the flock. But there are so many scriptures. I should have put some scriptures together and I could have shared with you during this, but there are just so many scriptures that rebuke Joel Osteen and those like Joel Osteen. But I don't know what's going to come. What's going to come of this after all this is said and done? What will be Joel Osteen's legacy, and how many people will no longer go to Lakewood after this? How many people will actually not go there anymore? That would be probably the greatest way to let Joel Osteen know, you crossed the line this time. You crossed the line this time. I didn't see any really heartfelt tweets from Joel Osteen. By the way, Joel Osteen fully supports Donald Trump. They both like to tweet. Anyway, I don't want to sit here and rant and just go on and rant, but I wanted to get this information out to people, let you see just where Joel Osteen lives. how bad the situation is. Be praying for those people in Houston. Keep them in your prayers. I think that's probably enough. We'll go ahead and wrap it up right there. God bless you all.